I'll never forget stepping into that rooftop bar. The night alive with warm lights strung overhead, laughter swirling with the soft pulse of music. Emily was there, center stage without even trying, radiating a confidence that made heads turn. But tonight, something was different. Her smile, the tilt of her head, the way her eyes softened, it wasn't for me. It was for him, the tall man standing dangerously close. I watched quietly, noticing every small gesture, the hair she twirled, the subtle laughter, the way her whole expression seemed to glow when she looked at him. Something inside me shifted, but not with anger or heartbreak. It was a cold, precise clarity. I kept myself composed, laughed when expected, nodded at familiar faces, all while my attention repeatedly returned to her. Every glance, every tiny interaction between them felt like a silent betrayal. And then she crossed the line. She leaned toward him, fingers brushing his chest, laughing in a way that was intimate, deliberate, public. Gasps rippled through the crowd. He looked startled, and yet she didn't seem to notice or care. That was the moment something inside me snapped into a hard, unyielding resolve. I approached him calmly, every step measured. The room seemed to hush, conversations faltering, music fading behind the tension. She finally noticed me, surprise flashing across her face, her hand snapping away from him as if burned. I didn't speak for a beat, letting the silence do its work. Then, quietly, deliberately, I said, "So, this is what happiness looks like for you." No yelling, no venom, just truth, sharp and undeniable. Heads turned. The room froze. Her face drained the color, the words she'd rehearsed slipping uselessly from her lips. Every secret, every lie, every concealed crack in her marriage now exposed in plain sight. Without a scene, I removed my wedding band and placed it on the table between them. The gesture alone carried a weight no argument could match. Emily tried to reach for me, voice shaking, but I stepped back. The scent of her perfume, once comforting, now felt suffocating. I started to walk away, feeling lighter with each step, the burden of her betrayal lifting from my shoulders. Then came her voice, raw, fractured, desperate. "Wait!" The room flinched at the panic in her tone. I paused, not because I care about her pleas, but because the fear in her voice wasn't about losing me. It was about a truth she had been hiding. Slowly I turned. She looked small, trembling, eyes glossy, lips quivering. All her polished confidence had crumbled. She whispered, almost choking on her words, "I need to tell you something." Her tone wasn't defensiveness. It was terror, a confession forced out by the weight of exposure. The truth came spilling out in frantic, disjointed sentences. She'd been diagnosed months ago. She hadn't told me, fearing my pity, fearing I'd leave, fearing the vulnerability she couldn't face. That laughter, those jokes, that careless facade, it wasn't about him. It was a shield, a desperate mask to hide the fragility she carried inside. I stood frozen, anger draining away like water through fingers. I didn't forgive instantly. But in that moment, I understood. She hadn't betrayed me for pleasure or attention. She had hidden from herself, running from fear. And now, exposed, she trembled, terrified not of my reaction, but the reality she had spent months avoiding. The room held its breath. And I realized that the next step, what I chose to do, would define everything. Retaliation or mercy, silence or confrontation, ending or a chance to rebuild.